that the Lime parking garage has defeated us on exit. So we're back at the very busy Celebration Supercharger, about ready to test 14.2.2, which dropped yesterday, but yesterday was Christmas, and my wife would have killed me had I gone and made a video on Christmas Day instead of hanging out with the family. So this time we're going to test to see whether or not it can make it into the Magic Kingdom drop-off lot, which is where you'd go if you had an Uber or otherwise, which is in kind of an odd place, as well as head around to Disney Springs and see if it can actually park in the parking garage, which the previous version could not. It would get to the bottom of the ramp and then give up. So let's go give it a... Okay, the last time we did this, we took an interesting tour through the parking lot. Most of the problems that we've actually seen with 14.1 and on have been routing and not its ability to figure out how to maneuver around, but that Google or whatever it's using for the underlying routing mechanism just sent us into weird places. So let's see where it takes us this time. Looking at the map, it looks like it's going to do it right this time. This should be a very interesting drive. This is the busiest week that Disney has all year. Between Christmas and New Year's, the parks are packed. They actually lock out Florida resident passes from even being able to go. So, okay, let's give this a shot. I currently have it in hurry. I will change that if it feels unsafe, but lately standard has been just a little too hesitant, and Mad Max will just get you a ticket, especially on Disney property itself, where they've begun enforcing the speed limit at a level that they hadn't previously in the past. So already better than previous version. We didn't take a tour around Publix, and we're now maneuvering our way actually
in 500
out.
feet, enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
She's always interrupting. Maneuvering our way out. We've got a roundabout that's up here. Off to our right is Celebration High School. So
now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
A busier time of year for the school. This would be all packed up. Car line finds its way all the way back here in the morning. They have to have police traffic
control. In 500
control
feet, turn left onto World Drive.
All kinds of stuff. So, okay, I am going to speed the video
turn left
up.
Onto World Drive.
If anything interesting happens, I will of course slow it back down and we can talk about it. Anytime I do that, I cut it as a chapter. So if you want to speed up to each of those points, you can do so just looking at the chapter tags.
In 1,000 feet, keep right to stay on World Drive north toward Disney World. In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Seven Seas Drive. In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Seven Seas Drive. Now turn left onto Seven Seas Drive.
Okay, so this takes us backing around. Hurry's been a little faster on the speed than I think I would have liked, but it's been in the safe range where I'm not worried about it. This brings us up to the guest drop-off.
In 500 feet, turn right.
That Model 3 in front of us is probably an Uber driver. But this has
Now
a combination of everybody coming in and out. There's actually EV chargers available for once. Normally they're completely used up by this time of day. There's, I think, 2 left. Almost all of the Disney World parks have chargers. If you guys would be interested in me taking a tour of those and showing where you can and can't charge, I would be happy to do so. Just throw it down in the comments. Stopped unnecessarily. Come on, go. Ooh, okay. That was a problem. It needs to stay here. Let's turn that back on, see if it'll follow it. Needs to follow the red line. I think it thought we needed to get into the space in between, which obviously we wouldn't fit in.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Where are you going? It would be very interesting if you could actually talk to it and tell it what it's supposed to do. Because this has got to be very confusing for it. Nope. Oh, Model 3 is doing the same thing too. Where we need to go around. So let's turn it back on. Which took us through the ride share, which is not what we wanted, but hey, what can you do? So then we come up around here and then loop across the top. So we've had 2 disconnects in here where it got confused. It's actually better than I thought we would get. So now, see how it handles this big U-turn. Okay, where are you going to want to go? Oh, little brake. Where are we going? Oh. We gotta try to park. Okay, so it pulled into one of the rideshare spots. Okay. So that wasn't terrible.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Now let's see if it can actually get us out of here. So let's go to Disney Springs. I missed a space. Oh, so it did build it. Let's pick a lot. You let me pick the orange lot? That's interesting. Lime. Wouldn't let me pick the orange lot. Doesn't actually have a selection for it. So let's go there. And start driving. See how it gets us out of here. Oh, that's wrong. The exit's over here. Again, routing issue more than a driving issue, but that would have taken us through the bus lanes, which is obviously not allowed.
In 500 feet, turn left onto 7 Seas Drive.
I'd like to say that having it come here was unfair. This isn't marked like a normal road. It's complicated on where people are and what people are doing. But if this was an autonomous robotaxi, how would it know where to go otherwise? Or what if this is what I wanted it to do and I wanted to banish it away to go figure out some other place to be? It's got to be able to handle these situations. And this is really where it pushes the neural network and trying to figure out how the reasoning engine is going to go and sort these kind of one-off situations, which is part of the reason why I wanted to see how it handled this. The next one should be, well, interesting is the wrong word, and I say that too much, but is going to be a little complicated because you never know what level of that lot
now
is
turn
going to
left
be
onto
open
7 Seas Drive.
for any of the lots at Disney Springs. There's actually chargers on the roof there for each of those lots. I doubted we'll try to go there. The last couple of times that we've done this not on film, on previous versions, this is the first drive on this version I've done, it has gone into the parking structure, picked what appeared to be a random level, which was okay because there was no attendants telling us where to go, and then
in 500 feet,
just
turn right
picked
onto
the first
World
parking
Drive.
space it saw and tried to ditch into it, which is wrong. Met the goal, I guess, of finding a place to park, but was still not the right way to handle it in those lots. So let's see what it does this time.
Now turn right onto World Drive.
I will speed us up until we get back up to the lot. See you on the other side.
In 1,000 feet, take the ramp on the right toward Fort Wilderness Campground.
Oh, what was that? Really feel like it's missing a camera. Like it needs one more that's like out at the front quarter panel that looks out and across, so it doesn't do that. What I think it couldn't do was see, which I could because I can move my body around, traffic that was coming from the left. It couldn't see that other car until it nudged out a little bit more and then became hesitant on whether or not it had time. It did. It had plenty of time. But that confuses the drivers behind us. And one of the first things that you do when you're teaching a new teenager to drive is teach them expected versus non-expected behaviors. Because it's the non-expected behaviors that get you in an accident that wasn't necessarily your fault. Somebody rear ends you. You can't anticipate what you're going to go do. And that was an unexpected behavior. The vehicle behind us, which is probably a rental car, from somebody who isn't around here, who doesn't know where they're going and is just following their GPS, because otherwise you wouldn't end up on this back route to get in. If they hadn't been paying attention, all they would have just seen is me starting to move and then stopping, and then starting to move and then stopping again. which is definitely unexpected and could cause them to rear-end us. So that actually is a rather unsafe thing that it did. It did correct fast enough that I didn't disconnect it because it already moved past it. I probably should have, so I could have sent a notice through the developer talkback system, or bug report system. I don't know why I call it talkback system. But nonetheless, we were already moving at that point, so there wasn't a lot of reason to do it. Okay, so we're coming up on the lot, 0.3 miles. We took the very back way around.
Turn right to stay on East Buena Vista Drive.
Which is interesting. I think it's because there's so much traffic that's sitting up on the main way in. This just made way more sense. This is the way that if you live here or you have a GPS that tells you to do it, you would go. Well, that's interesting. They closed all the buses. Oh. Sorry. A squirrel moment.
Now turn right to stay on East Buena Vista Drive.
So as you can see, the traffic built up in here. I actually don't know what it's going to do here. The Lime Garage has a different entrance than all of the rest of them. It kind of loops up around the back. As you can see, it says next 2 rights, and we're not in that 2 lanes, so I don't know what it's doing now. Whatever it's doing, it's not making it into the Lime Garage. I guess there was a second route that was available. Oh, so it's going the other way into the Lime Garage. Okay. We normally go to Orange. Orange wasn't available for some reason on the map, so this one I'm not quite as familiar with. Yeah, this camera's.
Now bear right.
Okay. Spaces available sign is broken.
Now bear right.
Okay, so level 2 is full. See if the barriers are actually. Oh, so they've closed the barrier, so that's a cheat. Otherwise, it may have tried to turn in there. Level 3 has 13 spaces. Level 4 has 313 spaces. If I was driving, I'd go all the way up to level 4. Whether or not that's what it chooses to do, I guess it depends on what the car in front of us does, because it seems like it does a little bit of following. Okay. So up to level 4. Okay. So it has selected level 4.
Feet, bear right.
Even though everybody else went to level 5. So now where are we going to go? Okay. Well, this level has nobody on it, so this was a little too easy for it. But it still hasn't selected a parking space. Well, I guess it did select a parking space. Okay, it got us here with not a lot of drama. Now let's see if it can get us back. I'm going to take us back to that Celebration Supercharger. We won't go all the way, but let's it's got 3 spots available still. Don't need to precondition because I'm not actually going to charge, and prices are higher than usual. That charger has a big demand fee on it, so it's probably 56 cents or something right now. Celebration. So the other ones are all 34, 38, yeah, and that one is going to be in the 50 range, so neat. Okay, so let's get out of here. Got a group of people behind us, so I'm going to be super careful. I have seen reports from you guys in the comments that getting out of the parking garage, it kind of, with the last version, randomly drove around and couldn't find the exit. Let's see what it does. Obviously, if it looks like it's doing that, we don't want to create too much havoc. So we will find our way out manually, at least to get it off the ramp. So I would be backing up right now if I was them, but if I was the car. It chose not to do that because here it's got people and a car. It's got 3 groups of people to contend with, plus the car who's parking. I don't think it knows exactly what this lady is going to do because I don't think she knows what she's doing. Okay. So we are wandering our way back around this way. Follow the group of people. Okay. Got a group of people in front of and behind us. And now crossing in front of us. I'd like to say it's being overly cautious and be impatient, but it's actually doing about what I would do in here. Just trying to find my way around everybody. Okay. Good selection for exit. I think I hear the preconditioning fans running, which I told it not to do. Okay, so that's the opposite direction of the exit, but okay. We'll let it wander a little bit. If we can do so without creating problems. Yeah, I think it's truly lost. Good test to see how it handles pedestrians, though. Needs to read the exit signs. Oh? So according to that sign, there is an exit that way. Will it succeed? So I think this is where it gets itself into a routing problem. Because if you can see on the map, it thinks that our way out is below and behind us, which is true, except the parking garage is set up in a way to route you to flow traffic in a certain way, because everything at Disney is. There's nothing here that wasn't very well thought out. That is a do not enter, so we will not be doing that. Attempted to go through a do not enter leaving the parking garage. That mistake may have given it the hint that it needs to actually get out, though. Nope. It's going to try it again. Attempted to do not enter to and illegal right turn to get out of the parking garage. Yeah, I know, guy. Sorry. I didn't turn the signal off. Okay. And now it's not going to follow the real one. So, okay. We're not going to continue to irritate people here. We'll make the turn, and then I will give it back at the top of the ramp. Okay. Now let's turn it back on. Oh. Okay. I think that we would spend our entire lives, or until the battery died, randomly turning in to each of these levels because it doesn't quite know what to do. So I'm going to take it to the bottom of the ramp. Okay, we'll give it to it here. Let's see if it handles it from here. So I'm going to say that the Lime parking garage has defeated us on exit. Full self-driving is not ready for it. Has attempted to do a few... it's trying to go back up. A few dangerous and otherwise incorrect things, including that. It would have sent us back up top, which obviously was not what we want to do. Let's see if it handles it now. Okay. So that's the wrong exit. It should have taken the one off to the right, but it'll figure it out from here. And
now turn left onto East Buena Vista Drive.
Big U-turn at the end here and loop around. So not the end of the world, but definitely not the right thing to do. Okay, so that was comically bad. Somewhat entertaining. Could have looped there for a lot longer, but I don't have infinite time. So, and no one wants to watch a 2-hour video of me looping the Lime garage. So I'm going to get us off property and then give you my concluding thoughts. So I'm going to speed it up from here so we can watch it wander its way out. Okay, so kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Good, this version feels smoother. Even that transition we just did feels smoother. It's slowing down more smoothly to lights. It feels more natural when we're not in parking lots. Kind of the bad, it still has routing problems. It's routing in kind of odd ways, not just in parking lots.
In 1,000 feet, take the ramp on the right toward Interstate 4, Florida 536.
And it's really ugly inside parking lots. We saw that both at the passenger drop-off, where it wasn't even really able to follow the leader through and figure out the red line and what it's supposed to do. Give it a little bit of a pass. The markings are weird on the road, but it has to be able to handle those. But it did actually there safely get us to where we needed to be. It pulled off. We even had a family walk up and think we were an Uber. So
now take the ramp on the right toward Interstate 4.
I would give that a 6 out of 10. The Lime garage, it did fine pulling in. 8 out of 10 there. It went a level higher than it probably needed to, but that was fine. It selected a parking space. Felt a little random, the one that it did. But again, not a problem. Everything was smooth getting there. Now leaving, that's a 2, and it's not a 1, and only not a 1 because we didn't hit anything or anyone. It handled the pedestrians fine, so maybe I might give it a 2.5. But I think we'd still be there. It perpetually wanted to go in directions it wasn't allowed, even though there were very big signs that said, do not enter and closed. There was nobody there directing that would have given it additional hints. It seems to read hand signals actually pretty well. But it needs to read big red and white signs that say, we're not allowed to go that way, and that's closed.
In 1,000 feet, take the Interstate 4 west exit on the right toward US 192, Tampa.
Now, is that a full self-driving issue on the how well does the reasoning engine figure out where it's supposed to be in space and safely maneuver the vehicle around?
Interstate 4 west exit on the right.
Not as much, but there's serious reasoning and routing problems.
In 1,000 feet, take the Interstate 4 west ramp on the right toward US 192, Tampa.
The problem is driving isn't just about
Take the Interstate 4 west ramp on the right.
Stop it. Can you safely maneuver the vehicle? Part of that is, can you safely maneuver the vehicle to where you need to be? And it felt super confused. And you could actually feel it build more confusion as it went. There at the end, it attempted to go back up in the parking garage and start the entire loop over again, even after I had disconnected it, moved it down to an easy direction. So overall, let's call that a 2.5 out of 10. It is actually still an improvement over the 4.1 chain. The 4.1 chain couldn't park in the parking garage. It would attempt to turn in on the very first parking space it found when it went inside, which is never the right one. It would attempt to go into levels that were obviously closed, only recognizing the yellow barrier at the last second. So it has improved, but that improvement hasn't gotten us far enough where I would feel safe banishing the car, which is one of the functions that these are supposed to have. We're supposed to pull up to the front of a business, a location, a house, and banish it to go find its own parking space. And I kind of think if we did that right now, it would just live in a perpetual loop and maybe not find its way back to us. So overall, some good improvements over the previous 14 versions, vast improvements over the previous 13 versions, but still a long way to go in the more complicated scenario handling that is parking lots and high pedestrian areas, which is one of the reasons why these Disney tests are pretty good to see kind of how it handles. Nothing inside of a Disney lot is standard, but it's all stuff a human can mostly figure out. So we'll have to see as it goes and how it progresses. Overall, thank you guys for coming along. Like and subscribe if you like the content. If there's any other place you'd like to see us test, throw it down in the comments. We have all of Florida to play with, and we also drive quite a bit between here and Denver, as you may have seen with our road trip videos. So, have a great rest of your day, and if you're watching this before New Year's, have a great New Year's.